Hello, readers. My name is Greg Stolze. I am a novelist and game designer and have been for decades now. If you know my work, you probably are aware that my website, gregstolze.com, hosts a lot of material that you can access for free because it has been underwritten by generous fans, and I'd like to continue that tradition with Ninki. If you don't know my work, what I'd recommend is pausing this video right now, going to the links I will put down below, and reading some of my work. And if you don't like it, that's okay. No harm, no foul. You can go on your way. But if you do like it, you can participate in this project to get more of it out there in the world. If I had to pick 3 stories from the fiction library that most strongly resemble Ninki, the first one would be Unripe Fruit. It's another high fantasy piece with a unique setting, a lot of attention on the culture, and teen girls making trouble. Special Purpose is the semi-post-apocalyptic science fiction version of the same thing with a younger protagonist. But again, sort of this social angle of she is entangled in a situation that she doesn't fully grasp. And finally, there's Careful She Bites, which is troubled teen girls' modern-day horror. Much less of a broad social canvas on that one. It's really a pretty claustrophobic piece about mostly about just 2 characters. So go read those. If you like them, maybe you will enjoy Ninki, which I will talk about in a little bit. But first, let's cover what happens if this project succeeds. If I get the money, I will put this 11,000 word fantasy novella up on my website under a Creative Commons license. Anybody who can access the web can read it for free, can share it around as long as they do not attempt to profit off it or change anything. It goes up under a Creative Commons license for everyone, forever, or as long as I can make that happen. So what the story is something of a magical education story. And what I am doing is establishing a new setting. It's a fantasy city called Bordeaux. And we start out with our protagonist, Ninki, who is a not very privileged or rich young woman who's trying to figure out how she's going to make her way in the world when she discovers within herself an unsuspected talent for enchantment. And the story is about her going off to magic school, and through her interactions there, we learn a lot about the city and about its levels of society and how it works and how magic works, and there's a lot that is hinted at. It's got a nice arc of her going and finding her place and proving to herself and others what she deserves and what she can do, and kind of getting a little bit of self-determination and achieving that. At the same time, this story is, while complete in itself, part of a larger and more ambitious project I want to pursue. It is the first of what I hope will be a number of novellas dealing with the city of Bordeaux and its destruction. Ninki is told in the first person. She is reminiscing about the city that was and herself as an innocent young girl from a position afterwards, and she refers obliquely to the city being destroyed. And what I want to get at with these stories is not just tell high fantasy stories full of adventure and romance and miraculous spectacle. I also want to deal with how individuals in society deal with disaster and how people come together in the wake of terrible things in order to help one another, even if the people they're helping are folks who, in the normal course of events, they would never even meet. So I think there's just a lot to dig into there, and I feel like this is very inspired by the current moment in history, and I want to tell a story that is not post-apocalyptic, where everyone is running around racing to some kind of moral nadir, but rather a story where everyone is under duress and we find out what people are really made of, and there are characters who discover that they are capable of greatness that they never suspected, or that they can be heroes in ways that they never, even after what is normally heroic in their culture, after that has been taken away from them. So I've written 3 stories, 3 novellas, in this setting so far, and the first one is Ninki, which is the magical school kind of prequel. The second one is called Into Debt Goes Ankh, in which we get right directly into the fall of Borju as we follow the story of this kind of sexy cowboy character. And then the third one is about the boats fleeing the destruction and what happens on those. So hopefully you'll find this idea interesting, you'll enjoy the fiction I've already put out there, and you'll want to support seeing more of it in the world. Thank you very much for your attention and help.